Good evening, Board of Education, Superintendent, Ahern, educators, and families. I appreciate the opportunity to share my experience with 114. I am here this evening not only as the parent of a former 114 special education student, but rather as an advocate and a professional that chose this unique path of working alongside children and families long before I became a parent of a child with special needs. That really is where my story begins, and the passion that I have for the special needs community was born. The following quote resonates with me to this day as it brings me back to my early days working as the novice camp counselor and now as I serve other families and advocate for my own. Do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better. My goal in sharing this message tonight is not to receive sympathy nor sound spiteful, but rather a call to action. I hope and pray a careful reflection of my journey will stimulate a desire for District 114 to seek positive change and one day become a model for surrounding districts that say we need to do it the Manhattan special education way. I'd like to share a little of my background with you. I have a bachelor's degree in therapeutic recreation. I received my CTRS in 1993. I have experience in child care, residential facilities, day camps in the USA and on a military base in Japan, special recreation associations, Special Olympics, and with adapted sports from 1989 until present. Through these experiences, I observed that effective collaboration depends on listening as much as contributing. I carry this into my work by modeling teamwork, creating an environment of mutual respect, and encouraging others to see the value of working together toward shared goals. For the past 12 years, I have worked as a service coordinator for early intervention. In my role, I collaborate and assist between parents and schools when it's time to transition into the early childhood programs. I have participated in successful IEP teams and experienced professional collaboration in many surrounding districts, including 114. The specific qualities that I have observed on successful teams include clear communication, respect for all team members and their value, and professionalism when there's a difference of opinion. On one occasion when serving a family that was transitioning from the early childhood program or to the early childhood program here in 114, I was impressed by the way the special education team members conducted themselves when the parents challenged the current placement and the results of the testing. This occurred in fall of 2019, when one of my families requested my support and guidance to assist them when the early childhood evaluations had not captured their child's true abilities and the placement recommendation was not appropriate. This took place under different leadership at Manhattan 114, and the family was granted a reevaluation, listened to the team of the early intervention therapist, and the child was placed at Manhattan 114 versus being placed out of district. It was not an easy meeting, and there were strong opinions on both sides. However, the data, along with the collaboration between the school, family, and providers that afforded the child the less restrictive and more appropriate placement. This child has been in district in Gen Ed for several years now, and is thriving because the team worked collaboratively despite differences and were willing to work with the family and outside providers' data and feedback. Today, our greatest disappointment was not achieving a professional and collaborative experience like the one described that conversely resulted in a complete lack of trust, feelings of resentment, and I hope in time it won't feel so personal. And now I'd like to share a very brief version of our experience. My son Bryce is a 15-year-old who has a diagnosis of trisomy 21, hearing loss, and communication disorders. During Bryce's early education with District 114, we experienced a collaborative and positive relationship with teachers, team members, and administration while at Wilson Creek. A great example of this collaborative relationship was the request and implementation of an FBA in BIP. This stemmed from some continued behaviors that I was hearing take place, and the teachers and staff would communicate. So we worked together to troubleshoot. Another positive instance of collaboration occurred when Bryce
And
would,
the 5 minutes are up, or is Paul gonna take over?
I would just take.
unless you would allow me
Yeah,
to
unless you allow me.
continue.
You have to be done. You got 5, it's 5 minutes for anyone.
But I'm asking, just because he's just going to continue reading what I have here, that I continue.
Technically, I have